Hello students, in last video we have covered the objective of business, and we know that there are three objectives of business: economic objective, social objective and human or individual objective. Afterwards we studied role of profit in the business. So what is the role of a profit in the business? The role is like survival, expansion and growth, state symbol of efficiency or the index of performance, like better the performance or is a better index efficiency, right? So there's a positive relation, as I told you uh, in video number 2. And afterwards, rewards of bearing the risk help in gain the reputation or a goodwill. Those companies who earn profit is in position to earn more goodwill and reputation in the society. So in this video we'll study about the classification of a business activities. We study about the classification about the business activities. The classification, the business activities further classified into the two parts broadly known as industry and commerce. So the business activity divided into two parts, which is known as industry and commerce. You can clearly see in this flow chart the industry further divided into three parts, which is known as first primary industry, second one is secondary industry, and the last one is tertiary industry. Whereas in case of commerce, commerce further bifurcate into two parts, trade and aids to trade. This aid to trade is also known as auxiliaries to trade, like plays in supporting element. So now we'll study about industry. Like first we'll go through this industry, and afterwards and one by one primary, secondary and tertiary, and finally afterwards we'll meet towards commerce. So like industry, when you just read this word industry, you itself have some estimation what is industry, right? Just pause my video and just think about what is industry, right? So industry is something which converted raw material into useful products. Whatever the raw material is, further processing take place and converted into a useful product, or you can say into a final good. So it creates utility by converting raw material into useful form of finished products. The term industries also refers as a group of firms which are similarly or related goods. Like for example, textile industry refers to the production unit related to cloth manufacture. Cement industry refers to the firm of manufacturing cement. And industrial may produce consumer goods and capital goods. So consumer goods, the goods like bread, butter, clothes are known as a consumer goods, which is directly used by the consumer and used by in day-to-day of consumption. Fine. On the other hand, the goods such as machinery, cement are called capital goods. Even you can say about the equipments, the tools are also known as capital goods. These are further in the production process to make useful product. They help in part of production process. So capital goods are those goods which help in part of production process. Fine. The industry divided into three broad categories. First is primary industry, second one is secondary, last is tertiary. You already aware what is primary industry because you have studied about class 9th, in class 10th as well. So the primary industry is those industry which is concerned with the extraction of natural resources and a reproduction of living species, or something which is aligned with the agriculture as well. But here is primary industries, like, so it is related. First we study about extractive industries, when we extract something, right? Extractive industries are those industries with extraction something from like natural resources such as mineral flora. भाई mineral है, आपका iron भी हो सकता है, तो this is something which is related to extracting. Fish from rivers, fine, etc. These products are extractive and can you may directly use or become raw material of other industries. Raw material like if we if we extract iron, right, that iron will become a raw material for a steel industry. Fine. Now the second part divided in genetic industry. This industry involved activity of rearing. Rearing means caretaking and breeding of living organism, like breed, multiply, birds, plants, animals, etc. are known as genetic industry. For example, rearing of cattle of milk, like caretaking of cattle for milk, dairy farms, poultry farms, rearing of plant nursery, growing fish in a ponds, which is known as pisciculture. So related to fish is known as pisciculture, etc. all included in genetic industries. Fine, beta. The next point is secondary industry. So primary industries we are done. Now we move towards secondary industries. Secondary industries make use of product which are extracted and produced by the primary industry as the raw material and produce finished products. Like for example, mining of iron are done in the primary industry. By mining of iron is done in a primary industry and with this raw material it is supporting, like this raw material, the steel industry will use this iron. Fine, and that steel industry is come up in a secondary industry. So it is further divided into two parts: manufacturing industry and construction industry. But I don't mix this. This is not right. This is not right. Tertiary, this is other one, right? So only two will include it: manufacturing and construction industry. Now we'll study about the manufacturing industries, which is further divided into various parts. So manufacturing industry, we know the process of conversion raw material or the semi raw material into finished goods. Like this is produced goods for finished good which ultimately consumed by the consumer. These industry create the utility of changing the form of raw material into finished goods. The form change हुई बेटा, there is a change in a form of raw material into a final goods. Fine, like iron into the steel, sugar into a sugar, cotton into clothes. So this is how the change in a form take place in case of manufacturing industries. So manufacturing is also divided into parts. So manufacturing industry produce two type of goods. There are two type of goods, like consumer goods and industrial goods. Even we have discussed before, like consumer goods which are directly used for the consumption, right? Like cotton, oil and soap, etc. Whereas industrial goods, there is goods which are produced for manufacturing consumer goods. Like this plays a supporting element in part of production. Like if we talk about machinery, if we talk about the tools, the equipments. So this is an help in further part of production. The capital goods help the further part of production. Fine. Manufacturing, so this type of two goods we are done. Manufacturing industries are for the following reasons. So analytical industries, in the analytical industry, the basic raw material is broken into the different parts of produced finished goods. Like for example, crude oil is proceed into many finished products, like such as petroleum, diesel, kerosene oil. Even if we talk about if we have a basic raw material in the form of leather, so leather further may be divided into leather jackets, leather boots, leather wallet, leather belts. So this all come under analytical industries. Fine. The next point is synthetic industries. The synthetic industry, two or more material are mixed together. Two or more material are mixed together to form some new product. For example, various chemicals are mixed to produce soap, paints, cosmetic, etc. So they are, when two or more product are mixed together to form one particular product, they come under synthetic industries. The point is, you may think about example, because this is something business studies in which you get a lot of case studies, application based question, high order skills question, so where you need to apply certain understanding, common understanding, creativity. So it is my humble request, just be participative in my class, right? Processing industry, the name itself suggesting what is going to be happen to process the further part of production, right? If we talk about like cloth industry, when we extract like raw material, like a simple cloth we have, it takes so many production cycle to convert that cloth into a final good, like t-shirt, shirt, trousers, etc. Right? So in the processing industries, the raw material is proceed through the various stage of production and then finished goods are manufactured. For example, textile industry, iron and steel industry, etc. Assembling industry are when we assemble goods, like finished goods when we assemble. Like for example, in case of car, if we for example car XYZ private limited is the firm, is the company which produce car XYZ. Limited. Fine. So they produce car. In the car, we can clearly see that we have a tires from other company. Like suppose we are taking MRF tires. The paint is related for paint is for Asian Paints. We're taking an example, right? Steering is from XY other company, the seat cover is belong to other company, but ultimately the XYZ Limited producing only this single final product, that is car. Like, so we are assembling so many product to form only a single product, that is known as assembling industries. Now afterwards we move towards construction industries. Construction industries is concerned the construction of road, dams, building, flyovers, etc. These industries are used for product of manufacturing industries such as with the help कैसे production होगी with the help of cement, iron, steel, etc. The unique feature of these industries that their product cannot be transferred or shifted to the market. Like we cannot go and purchase the flyover in the market, right? We cannot. So construction union to like flyover produce किया, so this is not available in the market. So they constraint remain at only the fixed site. Fine. So that is come under a construction industry. The last one is come up a tertiary or the you can say a service industry. And this service or tertiary industry in India is major participate. It contribute almost 54% of GDP in our India. So this is something which is really important. Like I told you, taking the example of when we mining we have extractive iron, and further it given to the steel company which produce steel. Now the point is when we don't have that certain services with us, that steel is not in a that steel will not that steel will not distributed in a different part of country, and will definitely not available for the consumer to purchase that steel in the market. I mean from the market. Like if taking an example, that steel is produced by the company and it is there in the company, I mean manufacturing department is there, and no transportation is there, then there is no possibility that steel which is already produced will distributed in the different parts of our country. Fine. We required steel as well. I mean the transportation is there. When we know that one place to other place there is a risk that our truck, suppose the truck is there for the transportation one place to other place, like truck met an accident, then we have we have a risk. So we have some insurance. So insurance come into play now. So insurance is there, right? When it might be the chances that if we produce the goods and it is already on the way and it come up and we have to store it because the demand is not up to the mark like it is usually, so it is depressed economy. So under what circumstances we need to do, we need to store that. So that why we have a storage house, warehouse, storing capacity, insurance. And whenever the new product available in the market, how will aware about that particular product? Definitely we going to aware about advertisement. The advertisement is there to inform about the new product. It tells about the merits, I mean the benefits and the features, and why our product is different than our competitors. It tells about. So this is all come under a tertiary or a service industry, and it facilitates the smooth functioning of primary and secondary industries. Fine. The industry provides service to support activities of primary and secondary industry. This is why it is known as a service industry. The various type of services like transportation one place to other place, banking provide credit facilities, industrial and trading firms, insurance coverage of various type of risk, warehouse provides storage for a place, produce goods by primary and secondary, advertisement providing information about the particular product to customers. Fine. The next point, this is done for the industries. Now we'll study about the commerce. Fine. The commerce something which is refers to all activities which is directly or indirectly in distribution of goods for ultimately which is used by the consumer. There will be no use of producing goods unless and until these goods reach to the ultimate customers. Bilkul definitely if the goods are not reach to the customers, fine, then the company will not going to produce further more goods. So this is really important. The consumer is not aware of what kind of goods are produced or the manufacture goods. The goods are goods produced in a large quantity demanded by the customer in a small quantity. All this problem is a hindrance of place, and they're kind of a, so many problem we face in this. So we'll talk about in the function of commerce. So in the commerce, I'll tell you that commerce is further divided into two parts. One is trade, other one is auxiliary of trade, auxiliary to trade, that means aid to trade, which is plays a supporting element. Fine. If we talk about help in removing the hindrance of person, just because of help in removing the hindrance of person. Person means the goods are produced by the one group which is known as a producer for the ultimately the needs of one another group which is known as the consumer or the customers which is available in the market. Now, if what is the possibility, like the producer will go and directly sell that particular product in the market? No, there is a intermediates are available. That means a person, right? The wholesaler is there, the retailer is there to produce those goods will produces by the producer will ultimately provided to the customers, and this is something which is done through the channels. Fine. The next, this is how we remove. Although I have taught that in my video number 1. Please go through that. This is absolutely same, and we have to study. In fact, in upcoming chapters as well. The next point is help in removing the hindrance of place. As we know that the good where the good are produced, it is not only that the area where people will demand. It is highly that demand is all over the country, right? So under those circumstances, the transportation plays a very vital role. That the goods provided to ultimately where it is demanded by the people of our country, right? So transportation is essential for buying and selling of a goods, and it is really important function of a commerce. Fine. The next point is time. It removes the hindrance, means beta hurdle of time. Now, how the hurdle of time? There are some goods which are demanded only the seasonally demanded. Like for example, if we talk about seasonally demanded, but whereas the production take place throughout the year. If we talk about like air condition, the production taking place throughout the year, but the demand is only in the summers. But on the opposite, there are some goods which is produced only very limited period with according to seasons, but the demand is throughout the year, like wheat. So what the point is, the time their time means like there might be the chances the consumer will not ask for the particular product, but you are producing that product. In case of air condition, in case of winter, the air condition not demanded by the people, I mean the customers. Under that circumstances, what you will do, we need to store that particular ECs. Fine. So this is how whenever it is demanded by the people, we are there for the continuous stock, or you can say continuous supply of those goods, so that the customer won't be unsatisfied in the market. Fine. His demand is provided by us, fulfilled by us. Us means the producer, because that stock is already stocked in the warehouse. Fourth point is removing hindrance of exchange. Is because of banking, it is possible that hindrance of exchange is removed. There we can make payment online at any time and anywhere, right? We made it possible. Even the check plays very important role, credit card, debit cards, and due to this reason, the exchange makes very easy. Even bank also provide the finance activities. I mean financing to the businessman, and ultimately at a less rate of interest, whereas those loan which is sanctioned by the bank is ultimately invested by the businessman in the business, and it is also plays a very important role in case of commerce. Hindrance of risk, as I told in my example, like if we're talking about the truck which take place one steel, the production of steel different parts of a country. So there might be chances that truck met an accident. So we need to ensure. For example, suppose if I am the businessman and I have a huge go down of clothes, so I am dealing in clothes. So there might be the chances that my business may catch a fire by the way of short circuit. Then under that circumstances, I face a huge loss. If the insurance, I have not made an insurance of those products, then to cope up or cover up that risk, I must No, I must ensure that my all the goods, my all goods must be covered by the insurance company, and as suitable, the insurance company will provide a claim. And the claim amount is absolutely depend upon the terms and conditions of the insurance company. So this is how we bear the risk. In case of hindrance of a knowledge, when we know we have a hindrance of knowledge that new product is available in the market, if it is available in the market produced by the producer, everything is going smoothly, but at the same time there is no advertisement taking place. Now how the customer about the new product available him or her in the market? Now what to do? So that's come up, and the advertisement plays a very vital role in this. Provide information or the knowledge related to new products that are available in the market, and telling about the benefits, telling about the features, telling about the merits about those particular goods. In fact, telling about why our product is better than other competitor because we have that particular ingredient, or you can say the component in our product. That's all come up from advertisement. So such kind of hindrance is removed. Fine. Now the classification of commerce. The commerce further divided into two parts. First part is trade, the other one is aid to trade. Fine. The first part is trade, the other one is aid to trade. Aid means help to trade, and this is also known as auxiliary to trade. I think beta you do this much, and further topic will cover in next video. Fine, I don't want to burden you people with my Zoom class as well as recorded lecture. Just go through this, cope up with this, and don't worry about anything related to any chapter or any subject. If you have any doubt, then please do message me, do ask me, do call me anytime when you feel free. Fine, so take care, beta.